Hello, welcome back. Today, I'm terrified. I'm gonna be getting my first ever piercing. Now you may wonder why that is, why today? Well, I actually went in the other day, a couple days back, but they were all booked out. And I was probably like, yeah, that's probably good actually, I should probably think about this. So it gave me another day and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm now in my 20s. And I have no piercings. I need to get some. I'm not going to tell you what I'm getting yet. As a small child, I witnessed someone's lobe get ripped because we were playing footy and footy soccer. And I don't know if it wasn't taped back then or if it was taped and the tape fell off. But anyway, the tape wasn't on and the earring, a ring one, got stuck on this other player's shirt. And it ripped their lobe like straight in the middle, and it bled so much, and I still hear that child screaming in my head, and it traumatizes me and harasses me every time I even think of getting a piercing. Also, I just wear headphones a lot, so I feel like ear ones would kind of be annoying. So there's also that. And I have been saying for years now, I want to get this, I want to get this, I want to get this, I want to get this. I'm just going to tell you, it's a septum. Obviously, look at my hair. I need to wrap this whole thing together. But I'm booked in now. I'm going to be going in about an hour, 2 hours, an hour and a half-ish. And I'm a bit stressed. But very excited. It's going to be fun. Maybe this will be like a fun thing, and then in like 20 years, I'll just be like completely covered. Like, hi guys. Like, yeah, anyway. Very stressed. But it's very exciting. I'm so excited. I learned lots of interesting things this week about Reddit. I'm telling you, everyone should have to post something bad that they've done on Reddit, because I all know that you have done something bad in your life. It will really help you. It will humble you out as a person. Because at first, I did get... And because some of the people were just, like, wrong about what they were saying. So I wanted to, like, defend myself and, like, explain. But I realized that there's no point. Because a lot of the stuff I had written in there exactly why. And they had just, like, obviously not really read it. So I'm just like, no, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it. Okay. I put my point out there. I'm not going to fight it. And that was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. To be like, people hate you. People don't like you. And that's okay. By the way, I didn't do anything horrible. I said that someone's tattoo idea was weird. Yeah, and I got absolutely roasted for that. Which was probably fair a lot of the time. Probably fair. But what people didn't realize was this was like a 2-second thing. Like, it was me saying, oh, I think that's kind of a weird idea. People were like, what is wrong with you? You are horrible. Anyway, now I just find it kind of funny. I'm like, you've never said anything horrible in your life, I'm sure. Even the people who agree with me would just be like, nah, you're not the a-hole, like, freedom of speech. I'll be like, I don't like you. Like, I kind of like the people who call me out. Because I'm like, yeah, but not too harshly, because then it's like, okay, you've never done anything wrong in your life, ever, obviously. Like, I should be locked up for accidentally, saying that. I should be locked up. I really like the people who called me out, but would be like, yeah, you're a bit of an a-hole, or you're a little a-hole, which, love that, but I like those people because they saw, like, this was a quick interaction and it was just a silly thing. So they'd be like, yeah, you did say something stupid, but, like, not, you're gonna burn in hell and you should just go and off yourself, like some of the other people. Be like, okay. It was fun though. And then, yeah, the people who did just agree that it was perfectly fine, I mean, they're like, yeah, I actually don't like you because I don't agree that it was perfectly fine. Like, I feel like I admitted several times that it was probably stupid. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I realize after I shouldn't have done it because of this. And people are like, you shouldn't have done it because of that. And I'd be like, yeah, I said that. I do kind of realize that it was stupid, but I wasn't thinking about that in the moment. About, like, constructive criticism. And not all of the bad people, but just, like, genuinely some people who gave me really good ideas. Which is such simple stuff, but genuinely, like, I didn't really think about them. Like, to me, it feels like you either had to lie to people and be like, oh, that's great, or you had to be honest and then they would hate you forever. Whereas there were, like, lots of people that just gave me, like, it seems so obvious. I'm so sorry. I know this is probably very obvious to people, but just saying things like, oh, it's not really my thing, or like, I probably wouldn't do that, but you know, do what you want. Specifically, like, I can't remember the other ones, but just stuff like that where you're like not endorsing it, but you're not telling them not to do it. Which I didn't tell her not to do it. But anyway. Because I still think it's kind of strange to get a tattoo of someone else's pet. Okay, back to piercings. I'm so sorry for that little rant. But I genuinely, it's great. It's great. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna go put on some makeup and mentally prepare myself for the next hour. Let's go. Should probably get some light, shouldn't I? Hello. Oh my goodness. Why did I do that? I did it. It was a bit painful. So I watched loads of videos the other night because I was mentally preparing myself to be like, do I want this? Am I actually gonna do this? You know. I get very stressed when it comes to a lot of medical stuff. My grandpa was once telling me, when I was very young, he was telling me about how back in his day, this was for blood tests or vaccines or whatever, they used the same needle for everyone, and that they would also, oh, and he got a fresh one because it broke off in the girl in front of him's arm. So now whenever I go to get blood tests, I'm terrified that the needle is going to break off in my arm, or they're giving me a needle they used on someone else and I'm going to get some horrible disease. So that's lovely. That was overcoming that fear a little bit. I've wanted to get a septum for ages now, but honestly, I am slightly scared of needles. Quite scared of needles. So it was a bit scary to do. But I did it. It was painful. Like, it wasn't too bad. It was, as I've heard with septums, and this was definitely quite true, the clamp was probably one of the worst parts. Just like, the clamp is how it sticks. It's quite painful. But it's all good. It's all done now, and honestly, it doesn't really hurt. Like, I expected it to be a lot more painful and, like, sensitive. And I guess, like, if I bump it or something, it's gonna hurt a lot more. But, like, just touching it, I don't really feel anything. But yeah, it's all done. Let's see if my mum rips it out of my face. What else was I gonna say? Oh, when they were sticking it in, back on the watching tons of videos, so how they do it is they have a needle and a tube around it. So they stick that through, and then they can pull the needle out. They have this tube, put the piercing in, and then they'll pull the piercing through with that, and that just helps like get it through nice and smooth. But that didn't work in this case, really, because the tube for some reason didn't go through like it's supposed to, so it like all scrunched up, which was like honestly more painful because it was just like scrunching up and like pushing against the needle, like, if that makes sense. So they were kind of like fighting to push both ways, which was a bit painful. Okay. Honestly, I didn't feel like my eyes were like dripping. So like, but it was more like an uncomfortable, like, if you've never had someone finger up your nose, you're just not gonna understand it. They get up in there and it's great. It's to sanitize it, make sure everything's nice and clean, but it is slightly uncomfortable. But how else would they do it? They gotta do that. That's an obvious part when you go in to do that. But she managed to then just like get the tube through and get the piercing. Like, she got a new one, and I felt so bad. She like apologized so many times. It's all good. It wasn't her fault at all. But yeah, she got it through perfectly fine. Trying to pull it through, there was a slight pinch, but it was not bad at all. So yeah, got that all done. Very fun. I'm very excited. Can you even like see it? I don't know. I don't want to do a close up because then you're gonna see how bad my skin is at the moment. It started raining a bit, which is nice. Hello. Sorry, the birds are very loud. Actually, I should let them out. Watch this. Ready? Ready? Be free! Yay! Yippee! Okay. I just woke up. So they're gonna go crazy because it's morning time. And what do birds do best in the morning? Scream. Okay. This is the next day. Okay, we're going good. It still feels good. I'm about to go and clean it again. There were a couple things that I forgot to mention. One, I do have a slight deviated septum, so I was a bit stressed that I actually wouldn't be able to get it. I did feel around, and I felt like I could feel that spot where it's supposed to go. Obviously, I'm not a professional, so I don't know. But I was pretty hopeful that I would be able to get it, and I was, so that's good. Second thing was just a funny story, that when I was waiting in there, you have to fill out like a bunch of paperwork and stuff to, I don't know, prove you're over 18, as well as like they're not liable, so you're not on drugs or alcohol or under the influence, say like whether you're prone to fainting or epilepsy, blah blah blah. Just like a bunch of like paperwork. While I was sitting there filling that out, this like family came in and they walked over to me and kept like looking at me, and I guess they thought I worked there because just the way they were standing there, like they were standing there for me to like finish this, and I just like looked over and like smiled and then got back to my paperwork. But it was really funny because I'm pretty sure they thought I worked there. The other day I like flipped my head like upside down because I was putting my hair in a ponytail. You know how you flip over to stick up the back, and it just flipped up by itself, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why I have like a fear that the bar would get like stuck to the skin there, like melting, and you'd never be able to move it, and it would just be stuck in that position forever. Anyway, bye.